test and see if this thing is working. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord Nuthor 7, and I am back and better than ever. You see, what had happened was, on the 5th of the month, somebody shut off my microphones in my computer and then my exterior microphones. So I tried to work with it for a while, and luckily I had a bunch of recorded audio. I got like 30 videos that are almost done that aren't. And I put out a couple of those, and the last edited video I did was probably the best Thor News video ever. Anywho, and eventually I just got so tired of messing with it, I just said, forget it. And I took a vacation. And by vacation, I mean I hung out with EQ, quantum entanglement, QE. And we discussed quantum entanglement and blockchain. And then I went and hung out in NASAville with Superman, Mystique, Obi-Wan, and Batman. So I'm always working as your planetary defense commander. So now I decided to just totally reset my computer, and my microphones are working again. Let us hope that lasts, because as you know, YouTube, it's been always like the shittiest boss I've ever had. I have like no customer service. And then the hackers have been going crazy, man. I don't know if you guys, a lot of stuff has happened over the last few weeks. Not all of it I can get into, because I'm a semi-top secret. But, yeah, they've been hacking the fuck out of everybody, bro. Like, they have been grifting everybody's super chat to where, like, they stick programs in the middle. And so when you send super chat money in, it'll go to the other people and you can't even see. Let's see what else. You know, they've been lifting views from people and they send them where they want to. I don't know. The hackers are out of control. Here we are at the middle of 2019, and we are in the like planes falling out of the sky daily, part of late stage fiat currency global reserve whatever madness. And so I don't know how long it's been where everybody just yells at everybody all the time. It's become like a hate war. It really has become just like a war where everybody's ganging up. And me, I'm not a joiner. I create clubs, you know, like Asteroid Bike Club or the Astonishers, American Bicycle Club. So I don't usually like to join groups because I don't always agree with every single thing they say. And I've noticed a radical changeover. Whereas like before the midterm elections, I could disagree with our president respectfully as the planetary defense commander, and people would be like, all right, cool, that's cool, I respect you, Thor, you can disagree. But then after the midterms, like, something changed, man. And like this has become like an all-out war where like I feel like Democrats are doing whatever they can for Democrats, Republicans doing everything they can for Republicans, and it's like, man, they will drive you homeless, they will cut you out, they will kill you, they will do whatever it takes to make sure their political party keeps doing whatever political parties do. And so, you know, I don't know, man. I've been at this for 6.5 years. That I've been doing a good job, and I would think that all of the United States can afford one person. Because remember, I criticized Obama a lot under his regime. So the idea, if I say like I don't think our response in Puerto Rico was adequate, you shouldn't flip out and like shit spew from your face and you just get all furious and start loading up the Molotov cocktails. You know, the idea that everybody thinks a politician is totally perfect is absurd. And that like dissent and criticism, it's called freedom of speech, man. And it's like, I was raised Lutheran, but I stopped being Lutheran because I didn't agree with everything they said. I'm never going to agree with anyone else on everything all the time. Anyway, so yeah, and since like May 22nd, like for a month, look, I get a lot of information. Oh, speaking of that, from my time in NASAville, interstellar medium is real. Oh, there's a segue. I don't know. That's another thing. Like a lot of people, you know, I don't know. See, I'm rusty. Is anybody even here? Is this thing even working? Can you hear me? Oh, hey. Hey, Mike. What's up, gang? It is great to be back, man. It is great to have a microphone that works. And I just want to say, yeah, I'm back. But I'm telling you that they are like little. I don't know if it's ever going to come out because, like I said, if nobody's ever fixing anything and nobody's really upholding any laws, then we're just screwed. But they've been literally grifting from like so many people's super chats all across Google. They've been stealing views and like there's like a hacker cartel that has literally just been making like robbing people hand over fist for a long time and getting away with it. But a lot of shit went down. And so, I don't know. It just, I'm going to keep at this because this is what I do. And I'm a fighter. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, even what like people are like, you're a weatherman. No, dude, I'm your freaking planetary defense commander. Like, most people can't wrap their mind around the fact that there's like a group of like 10 to 20 trillionaires who mostly run all the governments. And that we have been stuck in an oil and war economy. Like, for example, 2 tankers got blown up by the Middle East. And so the United States of America was there within 20 minutes going, look, dude, we found out exactly who blew up this tanker. We found a passport floating by the tanker. We know exactly who did it. And we're going to go in and we're going to punish them. It's like, dude, it was like 2 ships, man. Like, I don't even... To me, that's why I'm getting like George Herbert Walker Bush deja vu all over again, except for Iraq. You just substitute in Iran. And so, and then they keep everybody distracted with the border shit. Anywho, I'm just saying, everybody's at war, and technically after 6.5 years of me trying to get everybody to come together, we are totally in the opposite direction. Thank you. And I don't know if you guys saw the last video I did, the Endgame thing. I think that was the best video anyone made in 2019. And it just shows that, like, man, I love making videos and I'm really good at it. And so just the fact that I'm not going to blame anybody, but this whole, like, I went to weather because it was a place I could go and I could try to talk to people about unifying without getting politics involved. But definitely over the last year, Earth and space weather has become more political because you can either join the right side, which is Grand Solar Minimum, and they're very pro-MAGA, or you can join the like all human-caused climate change, and they're very Democrat. It's like, look, man, I don't want to fucking join anybody because none of y'all are totally right, and anyone who likes to think, oh, this is exactly what's going on, this is exactly what is happening, you're wrong. You know, we got to realize we don't really know that much. And that we need to kind of have an open mind about what is happening. Because I've seen so much crazy shit in the sky and around. I don't even know what's going on. To this day, I don't even know, like, thank you, AA. Is the Earth round? Is it flat? Like, what is space? What is going on? Anywho, but I did want to say that, like, remember when I put out that earthquake and volcano watch on May 22nd for the next 6 years? Holy smokes. Have we been seeing earthquakes? Yes, we have. And we had a 5.6 in California. We had like a 5 in Kansas. And that's a North American volcano watch. And so you can almost look at the... Here, you can almost look at the volcano chart. Where did you go? And you can see that the activity is picking up. And so by the fact that we got a 5.6 in California this early on in the planetary angular momentum thing, that's a bad sign. And so if you're kind of new or what, you know, like I figured this out, that every single major earthquake and major volcano eruption, including Canada, Oregon, Washington, California, they all happen when all the gas giants are on the same side. Like every single major volcano eruption or earthquake I ever look up, it's when all the gas giants are on the same side. And these things are huge, man. Oh, and another thing, I'm hilarious. So it's like I don't ever feel like I'm competing with anybody because nobody does what I do. And if you guys know anyone who has a channel like mine, please tell me, because laughter is great. And so everybody takes everything so seriously. Like, everybody gets butthurt over everything all these days, but we knew that. But Asteroid Fight Club is totally badass. And I want to say that I appreciate everyone, and that just know that between now and like the end of the year, it's just going to be a freaking war between everybody. And I'm saying this for all the stuff I know, and I have a lot of inside information I don't necessarily always talk about, because like people are so like barely ready to discuss anything because they're already so hooked on politics. It's like, what's the point of telling people important shit if nothing's going to change? And I just want to say that ever since the USA and China kind of called off the deal where they were going to try and work something out, and then it just became tariff land, like we've literally almost gone to World War III 3 or 4 times. We had an excursion in Venezuela around the 22nd where Russia and America had a little thing happen. And remember, Venezuela's all about the oil. And then like a week later, 4 Russian jets got intercepted off the West Coast. And then a few days later, a Russian ship and an American ship collided. And then we had the tankers explode. So it's like America and OPEC like to think they control all the nations and all the oil. And Russia and China are like, hey, we want some of this oil too. And so, you know, they both agree that none of the people deserve the natural resources. So it's just interesting to watch, to see like who, because remember, I had 2 Air Force fathers. Both have passed away. And so I met a lot of people. Look, I have friends, defensive contractors, and so I know a lot of stuff. And I don't get tied up in all the bullshit. And so we really almost gone to like World War III a couple times. Like a month ago, it was the closest I felt we'd ever been. And we almost went a couple times under Obama. Like I made 3 or 4 please avoid World War III videos under Obama. And so, you know, I don't know, man. You know, like if the whole world turns into a glass parking lot, that's not great. And so the more and more I call for people to calm down, the less it happens. And another thing, I'll say this again, we are in planes falling out of the sky daily phase of this. Meaning that I've tried to explain this. Let me see if I can do it. That like, it's okay. We have to have a new system. This may blow your mind, but it's been part of Thor News forever. Like the system we are in right now, it's old. It's not working. It's failing on every level. In the last video I did, they talked about how like with Brexit, literally every nation in the EU is totally like 200% GDP to debt. They all have debt levels that aren't sustainable. And so it's like we need a new system, but it's never been easier to make a lot of money than it is now because the system is broken. And so you don't really have any regulation. You don't really have people doing oversight. You don't. And so it's kind of like the system is eroding on every level all across the board. So that's why you're seeing more and more. There was a refinery explosion in Pennsylvania on Friday. You know, we've been seeing planes fall out of the sky. Like, it's while everybody's fighting. And I gotta say, the worst fucking thing that like ever happened was when, okay, the Republicans decided we're gonna throw Hillary and John Kerry and Obama and anyone who was ever in office, we're gonna throw them in jail. At least we're gonna tell people we are. And then the Democrats are like, okay, we're gonna impeach Trump, we're gonna throw Trump in jail. So like, these people were paid to govern and legislate. And now what they're trying to do is they're trying to play prosecutor and accuser, which is not their job. And I don't know, I was talking to people 5 days ago going, hey, there's some big disclosure coming thing out where Hillary and like 100 people are going to jail. And I'm like, dude, you've been telling me that for 2 years. You've been literally saying that for 2 years and it's never happened. When's it going to happen? And they were like, just stay patient. I'm like, dude, so you can't, I don't know. All I'm saying is that you got to let the cops do the cops' jobs. You got to let the investigators do the investigators' job, because all social networking is going to do is going to tear everybody to shreds. I mean, that's like their job. They find sinners and then they punish them. And then they even make up shit. Like, we have so many issues and problems going on with the deepfake stuff. You know, the fact that the deep fake system where like almost all audio and video is now null and void in a courtroom, that is going to change our entire legal system. Or it should. Because now you can't even verify what is or isn't real. And I can guarantee you that a lot of the same powerful, rich, some famous people have a very heavy deepfake presence in YouTube. I will say this again. There are a lot of very rich, very powerful people, some famous, who have a very heavy presence in YouTube. And that's why, I mean, I've heard from, that there have been like wars and just like the astrologers, like people trying to control or in like space. Well, I don't know, man. It's just, you can't trust anybody. But I've never been more optimistic than I am now. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know. Was it Churchill who said, Americans always do the right thing after exhausting all other options? And so that's where we're getting to. We are definitely exhausting all other options. And no matter what, I feel like even like the 8 days I was off, I feel like more and more people were like, hey, dang, Thor News is right again. I don't want to be a know-it-all. It makes it harder to date, definitely. But, and wait, a lot of people, like I talk to people who are the hardcore conservatives. And one thing I understand is this, is that a lot of people believe that Trump is great and is going to do great things because it is scary to think, it is really scary to believe that he is not. So, like, let's say hypothetically he's a bad guy, then yeah, we're pretty much freaking screwed. So, you can either be cynical or you can believe that he's here to help. And, it's like Snape. Like, you think he's a bad guy and all of a sudden turn out to be a good guy. So, it's like with George Bush, man. Everybody, I'm 47. We went through this shit before. Where it was like, for 7 years, it's like, shut up, you anti-patriots. Shut up, you hippies. Forget it. Like, you guys don't know shit. And then it turns out we invaded Iraq and we gave Wall Street a blank check. So it's like, literally, I prefer to judge a president after they've left office. Unlike during the 8 years of Obama when Democrats were like, he's perfect and anyone who disagrees is an idiot. And now it's Trump's perfect and anyone who disagrees is an idiot. You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of the motherfuckers who are like, shut up, don't talk about politics, talk about the weather. And literally, a lot of these people like have no education or know anything about anything. It's like they decided, hey, I'm a Republican, I'm gonna love Trump, I fucking know everything about politics. And so at this point, there are, and I'm not being arrogant, there are very few men on the planet, and women, that are smarter than I am. Remember, I've never been married, I've never had kids. When I was 7 years old, I told the doctor that I was the son of God and I was here to save the world. And so, even though everybody freaked out, I believe we're all the children of God. I believe that, like, that has been my thing, dude. That's all. For 40 years, I've been in this game. For 40 years, I've been talking about what are we going to do with the grand transition. For 40 years, I've been talking about all this big picture stuff. And so I got people now because they're like, oh, dude, I believe in this politician telling me to shut the fuck up about politics when that is all they talk about all the time. And the only time I ever talk about politics is when I feel I have to. And so, I don't know, man. I love you guys. And so I respect, if you want to believe in Democrats, it's great. If you want to believe in Republicans, that's great. But just know, at the end of the day, I'm trying to get everybody to get along and move forward in civilization. And you're not going to do that by worshiping Trump. And you're not going to do that by casting Trump as the Antichrist. And so it's definitely going to be a big battle. This month, next month, until shit calms down, it's going to be a giant battle between like everybody. And everybody thinks, hey, this is great. And I'm pretty sure in the next 2 years, we're going to get either a major earthquake along the Pacific coast of North America and possibly a volcano eruption. And I've talked to a lot of billionaires in person, man. Like, at the end of the day, money is what makes the world go round. And so the richest people on the planet are loyal to money. They're not loyal to a country. They're not loyal to a political party. And I wish I could express that further. But I know that over the next few weeks, it's not time to trying to force anybody into beliefs. And so I'm not going to try and force anybody into beliefs. I'm just saying it's definitely a really weird point in time. And I know that, Ronald Reagan used to say the scariest words are, we're from the government and we're here to help. And it's just weird to watch that coin get flipped. And so, if we're in a situation where in the middle of a fire where 90 people are burning alive, our president can say, hey, dipshits, it's your fault. It's the forced management. And then when it turns out it was PG&E's fault, and I'm like, hey, dude, he was wrong. And so that's why, A, you shouldn't say shit like that during a natural disaster. If anything, you should wait. And B, he made a mistake. And then people get all furious. And all I'm saying is, dude, I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And you just got to realize that he all makes mistakes. And even if Trump was like the greatest man of all time, he doesn't instantly make the 250 Republicans in Congress like some angels that are super. It's like, you got to understand all these tricks. Like, why do you think AOC gets all the credit? She's like a rodeo clown, man, because they don't, most people can only name like 5 to 10 people in Congress when there are 500 people. It's like they take all you focus all your attention on one person, so you don't really see what's going on. And no matter what, I'm going to be totally against war with Iran. Because guess who are the only nations that don't have a central bank? Iran, North Korea, and Cuba. So coincidentally, we're talking about going and invading Iran. Hey, guess what, Republicans? In 2000, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Libya didn't have a central bank. 2-term Republican later, and they do. They now have central banks. Another thing they do is, cryptocurrencies. Okay, here's another thing, genius. When cryptocurrencies were, I've made one Bitcoin video. It was great, by the way. When Bitcoin was at 17,000, I said, hey, they're going to pop it just like they popped the internet bubble. So wait until it drops to 6,000 and buy it then. And so I don't think many people listened, but my advice was totally on target. And now Bitcoin's back over 10,000 and people are acting like that's the savior of the world. Like, man, we ain't got to worry about shit. We ain't got to worry about our freaking electrical grid. I got Bitcoin. Which don't make no sense. That's another thing. That was like the point where I really just lost my shit on politicians. And this was in like 2014, where a report came out that we could have totally replaced and modernized the entire American grid, power grid, for $200 billion. For $200 billion in 2014, we could have had a brand spanking new power grid, or at least started working on it, all across the United States that is like modern and up to date. And neither the Republicans nor the Democrats were interested in that shit. Dude, I would pay $200 billion for like a backup America grid, power grid. So, I don't know. And it's not like my best video ever. Definitely not my best live stream. Like I said, I don't know. I've been like under attack, and I've watched a lot of people break a whole lot of laws just to support their politicians. And man, if you are suppressing information because you think it helps your political team, that is as anti-American as you can get. If you have to cheat, lie, and steal to push your candidate and your belief system on other people, that is as anti-American as it gets. Hey, did you guys know there's an extreme outbreak of noctilucent clouds? All right. So, yeah. I mean, the noctilucent clouds are going crazy. Everything's been going crazy. And I think, what is it? I think this is the first month ever in Thor News that I lost. I didn't gain any subscribers. I lost 14. And like I said, I don't really care because we got to the zone where it's like now people have to agree with you, or you have to agree with whatever somebody else says, or they take it personally and they wish death upon you. But the good news is, I predicted a lot of this shit back in 2000. And so things would have to get really bad before it swings over to the other side. I'm hoping we can do it without a giant cataclysm. The way things are going, I don't know, man. And so, yeah, we know we got hurricanes coming the middle of September, the middle of October. And if I am wrong, I will do a dance. But I don't think I am. And our infrastructure is getting so fucked up. Sorry for the F word. You got major storms that keep pounding. We're going to see record-breaking heat. And it's like, it's weird. It's like both sides. What did I tell you guys 5 years ago? I said the Earth is turned into a McDLT, where the hot side is hot and the cool side is cool. And it's kind of like a lava lamp where they just float around and you can't tell what's going where. And so now you got the right side of space weather and weather saying, no, dude, the planet is cooling. And then you got the left side of Earth and space weather saying, no, dude, the planet is heating up. When, no, dude, Thor News is right the whole time, and it's a little bit of both. Well, technically, that's Forrest Gump. So, it would be great to work with Grand Solar Minimum people while respectfully disagreeing on a few things, because they don't ever mention the planetary orbital angular momentum thing, which I'm 95% sure is correct. And if if that hurricane hits September and October off the Eris alignment, then we know for 100% I'm correct. And that means we're going to see major earthquakes on the Ring of Fire on the North American side. Because I'll say it again, every single major volcano eruption or earthquake in North America came when the gas giants are on the same side. And here's a freaky thing, like the election in 2020, Jupiter and Saturn are going to be perfectly aligned in a straight line with the sun. I think that's good news, though. So yeah, and another thing that drove everything crazy is that, so you had Mars has finally started to dip. You had Mars in a straight line with Uranus, which is oil. So you have war, oil, and then deception and lies, Eris. So they literally were in a straight line for about, 100 days? Like 70 days. For 70 days, these three planets were totally aligned. And the last 70 days have been pretty oil, pretty war, and pretty deception. And then Venus has been over here, so, And so finally, and I don't know, like 5-7 days ago, I thought I was going to lose my mind because I just can't believe that like everybody's going to war with everybody. But now Mars has started to dip around, so hopefully things are going to calm down, but not in the whole Earth and space weather thing. And so yeah, I don't know, shit is weird, man. But they've been trying to knock me out of the game. Technically, people tried to kill me a couple times. But dude, I'm your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7. And I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'll hack my shit again, but we'll make it. I think. Like I said, the main thing right now is like whatever the hell is going on with China and Russia. Because let me ask you a question. If China and Russia go to war with each other, but if China, United States, and Russia go to war with each other, who wins? If you answered nobody, that's correct. Nobody wins. We all die. And that is what we're trying to avoid. I know a large portion of the truth community likes to say, hey, gang, we need to prep for when society collapses. Well, dude, Thor News is not about that. Thor News is about preventing the collapse itself. Because I can guarantee you, if everything collapses, it is not going to be a situation you want to live in. Have you ever seen The Road by the Joseph McCarthy? Was it a Coen Brothers movie? I don't even know. Sorry, I just had to get all this shit out of my system. So, and I don't know, like, I know that I've done a good job, and I've tried to represent every single person. And the animals are getting the shit kicked out of them and killed and destroyed, and nobody cares. And that's a problem, man. We need the animals on the planet. But, wait, I need to get my sense of humor back. I had it for a little while there. Not here, but whatever. But yeah, so shit is still going to be crazy, and it's going to be a crazy summer. And I would love for all the people who cover weather and space weather from now to the end of hurricane season to work in tandem regardless of our disagreements. I don't know if that's going to take place because I'm not sure everybody was popular in high school. Yeah, I was popular in high school. I was popular in college. Technically, I've been popular everywhere I go. I'm really funny. I'm really smart. Now I'm fat, but I used to be really handsome. And so, I don't know, like the whole ego thing, like I said, I don't compete with anybody, so everybody's trying to win for the team. But the team is planet Earth. The team is Earthlings. And we do not want a slow collapse. Anywho. So, and I know that more and more people in Texas have been asking me about, should we succeed? Secede. And my answer's been, no. We should just prepare in case the shit does hit the fan. Because I can guarantee you, one of the best places to be in that scenario is going to be Texas. And we have been seeing a large surge in people moving to Texas from all over the place. I think this is going to be the record year for people moving to Texas. Why? Because Texas is badass and we take care of our own. At the end of the day, we look out for Texans. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, doesn't matter if you're a Republican. We look out for Texans and we take pride in our nation and our Texas family. And so, but man, I gotta say, I'm so glad that I took an 8-day break from this shit because I got so tired of looking at the flood maps. I got so tired of looking at the dams. So tired of looking at the weather. I got to have a lot of fun. A little bit of fun. Man, medium-sized fun. I didn't get to kiss nobody. Okay. All right, so yeah, grumpy time. Oh, look at that. And so yeah, you've been getting a lot of volcano activity coming out of the Chile area. I would guess if I was going to put a 9 earthquake anywhere, I would say there. But history has shown when all gas giants on the same side, we get some major earthquakes around Canada and America. And another point of the all the planet gas giants on the same side, like at this point where I'm almost 100% sure it's correct, it would be great if more people in the weather and space weather community would hop on that ship so we could start to figure out what, when, and where. Because, I mean, these are basically specific patterns that happen again and again. And I know everybody's like, oh, man controls the weather. No, they don't, dude. Like, Earth is so freaking old. Earth is huge. They don't control the weather. They can barely even keep planes from crashing out of the sky anymore. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, it's a cluster battle. But yeah, if you were just now checking in, during the last month, a lot of shit has happened. A lot of shit has been going down. And so I've just been doing my best to keep my head above water and try and get back up to speed. So the good news is all my microphones work for now, I think. All right, what are you guys talking about? $10? Dude, thanks. You're the best. You are super awesome, and I love you. As I was saying, I let it be known because I just reset my entire computer, so all the hacking shit is out. Thank you so much. Who was that? Patty, I really, really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Fake news. All right. Fucking ego. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Great. Like, that's the whole thing, dude. Like, I get so many comments a day. And I will tell you this. I just went and hung out in Clear Lake, which is like heart and center of NASA. And everybody I met looked at me with utter reverence. Like I'd made them laugh 1,000 times. And I've been standing up and fighting the good fight for everybody. So, I don't know. Thanks. I'm happy to be back. Like I said, there, we should all, dude, harp. First of all, harp is so old, and I don't even, it's just okay. Like I said, I'm talking to nasty people. Do you know what interstellar medium is? A lot of people talk about chemtrails and geoengineering. They don't get into stuff like solar mechanics and interstellar medium. And I've heard from a lot of people over the last few years that we're entering a real rough part of the local cloud, the fluff cloud. And so we're getting a lot of dusts, gases, plasmas. It's one of the reasons that the sky is changing so much, because we are getting a lot of shit from another area of the galaxy. And so it's easier to wrap your mind around like HARP. And then, it's like you need to come up with a strategic plan. And like I said, if there was a plan, that video I did where they talked about like where the Mayans used to sacrifice 20,000 people to their god. I'm pretty sure we got a sect of that's willing to do that now. People are willing to sacrifice a whole lot of other people. And as your planetary defense commander, I'm not cool with that, and I never will be. Anyway, so we're traveling around here, and so as you go around the different parts, everything has different, it's like different gases, and so that is having a major effect. And it's like, you go to, people say, HARP, like, look at the knocked loose and cloud, like, look at that. That is basically, it's like the atmosphere. I mean, I've seen the knocked loose and clouds for a long time. I've never seen them like that. Like it's the firmament. I can't tell you exactly what's beyond it, but I'm saying apparently we got a lot of stuff coming in from outer space. And so I don't know. The best thing I recommend is that everybody calm down. And Jesus Christ, get the hate out of their hearts. Why do you guys like to hate people so much? That's but that is the one thing about, I guess I do have a large ego. It's massive. But it's like, the good news is I don't put people, rarely do I put people down. Instead of talking shit, I would rather talk about how great Thank you very much, Raymond B. I appreciate it. I appreciate being appreciated. I was saying it's better, I would much rather have me be like, I'm the greatest, rather than saying somebody else is horrible, or somebody else is evil, or somebody else is like, that's not my thing, man. Spooky clouds. No, I don't think I've ever seen it this big before. Like, the knocked loose in clouds, man, I don't think I've ever seen it that much. And I think it's early. And anyway, you guys are great. Yeah, feel humble. But like I said, I mean, the cool thing is that I actually kind of like the trolls. Because like I said, dude, I've done such a great job. Like, what are you going to say about me? I'm chubby. That's true. At some point, Mike, you're the best. How you feeling, Mike? You doing better? I'll teach you all. And you know what? Everybody's 10 foot tall on the internet. Like, was it 2013? I got my first death threats. Now I got freaked out back then. And like, I don't know, starting in 2017, when people threatened to kill me or whatever, I laugh. Be like, buddy, do you have your own F-35? Do you have like a laser beam are you Elon Musk with a laser beam on your satellite choo-choo train? Because a lot of people said they're going to kill me. And I am still standing here, man. Like, tons of people from almost every sector. I made almost every sector mad over the last 6 years. I'm glad to be back, too. And so say we all. No, they cloud seed. They do geoengineering. But I would guess at best it's like 10%, 20% of all the shit we see. Like, thank you, Archangel. I can tell a weird story. So I pray a lot, but I always pray to God and Jesus. And so, I don't know, it was like 3 months ago. Like shit was so bad they'd hacked my PayPal, my Patron, everything, and it was like I was just getting nothing was working, and so I prayed to Archangel Michael, which I'd never done before, but he's the one that beat Satan, and so I said, Archangel Michael, please help me, protect me as I try to protect the people, and we get to a good place. And like 5 days later, a Viking Marine named Michael showed up at my door with his Hopi warrior princess wife, and he was like, I'm Archangel Michael. I heard you pray to me. And that was weird, man. And they were cool. Although they said I wasn't the specific chosen one. I was like, that's fine. They told Neo he wasn't the chosen one either. But then Neo had a bad ending. I don't want a bad ending, man. Well, you know what? Another thing that I realized, because one thing, because like I've seen 2 people donate to the super chat, and that is fantastic, and I thank you. But like I noticed before, is after I've reset my computer, that I'll only get super chats for $1, and so I went in and looked at all the source code. Even though I don't know how to code, I know how to kind of read it, and it turns out, yeah, dude, they've been grifting everybody's super chat, not just me. A lot of the astrology people, a lot of the big people. And they've just been stealing from people like hand over fist. There's nothing you can do about it except for pray. But they're kind of getting caught now. They don't know it yet. Not all of them. But you guys heard from Q lately? Oh, I don't want to get into that, but yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm Earth Good Luck Piece. It's not. You're not gonna get good luck if you're just fucking with me for no reason. Hypercane. Well, I mean, I've said I'm pretty sure we're gonna see the hurricanes in September and October will be Category 4, Category 5. Anyway, so yeah, like I don't know, man, and like Google's censoring people, like everybody's censoring everybody. Like they even talked about it, like they can pretty much get rid of you just by getting all your money, or shutting down your MasterCard, your PayPal, your like. We're in a pretty scary time, and so yes, I mean that, but it's like, I'll say it again, the only countries in the world that don't have a central bank are Iran. Iran, North Korea, and Cuba. And that before the last Republican regime, Iraq didn't have a central bank. Afghanistan didn't have a central bank. Libya didn't have a central bank. They do now. And so when people trust the plan, well, if that plan is to get oil back up to $100 a barrel and make sure that Iran gets a central bank, then what is the overall plan, man? Hey, Jeffrey. Archangel Michael can only give you what you put out. Well, I put out a lot of heart and soul. I called Michael's wife, was it a Hopi princess? I don't know, when she turns, was it 50, she can literally go on the council. So, I mean, they were great people, dude. They were wonderful people. They got mad at me when I refused to believe that Hurricane Michael was geoengineering, because I was like, well, considering I predicted 2 months earlier that it would be Cat 5 off the Eris alignment, and I read all of Mike Brown's old stuff where he was like, dude, it is so huge. He was going on and on about how massive Eris was. And then they had to censor him. So I mean, if I have to believe in a conspiracy theory, I believe in a conspiracy theory that we've got another solar system coming into ours. And so that is more, I'm more into the Planet 9, Planet 10, Planet 15 camp than I am these asshats. Oh, let me say this. Because if there's one thing, because I have been dealing with a lot of powerful and rich people over the last 5 years. And if there's one thing that has happened to all of us, it's that over the last 2 or 3 years, the universe totally discombobulated our families. the marriages you thought were going to last forever, they got divorces. The families you thought were going to stick together, they got scattered like a broken piece of pottery. It's like, so even all these powerful people who are like, oh, I'm so powerful, they went through a divorce, man. Like, so if you think, ain't nothing going to screw you up more than a big breakup. And so, like, over the last 3 years, the universe and God, it was like it dismantled everything we knew as far as relationships. I don't know if this rings with you, but thank you, Elton. So it literally tore us all apart. It tore our families apart. It tore our friendships apart. It tore our relationships apart. And it hurt. And so when everybody's like, oh, they control the weather, they control this, they control that. Dude, they couldn't even control their marriage, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that people, like, everybody builds them up to be these, like, superhumans that, like, can't do any wrong. And I'm saying they couldn't even keep their marriage together. How do you think they're going to keep some Jeff Bezos, Jeff Zuckerberg, Elon? Like, you think Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, and like the top 5 of the Silicon Valley guys are going to get along and like be like, hey, dude, we're buddies, like wolf pack? No. Like I said, even the truth community. Like, I like a lot of those people. I like to like people. So I'm just saying it. The universe tore us all apart. And so I think over the next few years, or now, it's going to be starting to put us back together with the people that we will be able to grow with over the next 10 or 20 years. And that hopefully in like 3 years, we'll be able to look back on it and it will make sense. Because I know that I have changed so much over the last 10 years. You've changed over the last 10 years. And so it's that thing of like, when you start dating someone at one point, 4 years later, you're both not the same people. And so, I don't know, on a bigger picture scale, it makes sense to me. And so that's why I'm getting more optimistic. I can finally see it. Like, we had to tear everything apart, asterisk, before we could put it back together better than ever. And so I know everybody I talked to and hung out with over the weekend or during the week, everybody lost somebody, whether it be a wife, a child, a parent. Like, we've all gone through hardship. We've all gone through grief. We've all gone through loss. And that hurt people. And everybody's been hurting. So everybody's been hurting everybody else. But I'm telling you, we can climb out of it. And we will climb out of it. Well, like I said, I don't even know what I'm talking about because my microphones hadn't worked since the 5th. Yeah. And so I'm just happy that, like, when this mic worked, I was like, oh my God. I'll be dead if people keep allowing these crimes against me to go unrecognized. You won't get anywhere. Step back. Man, the only crime I commit is when I vape, because I don't know what's in that vape stick. Or when I smoke weed. Well, I don't know. I think it's decriminalized in Houston. I ain't commit no crimes, man. I totally get off on being like a superhero. Like, that is my thing. I really enjoy making videos. And at the end of the day, I really enjoy being a cool guy. Nathan, I love 7 is my favorite number. Yeah, but, I don't know. Another thing is, it's like the X-Men, where it's like, sometimes I feel like the universe literally is forcing us to go through all these traumatic experiences just to make us better people with extremely fast growth. I know my growth has been extremely rapid. If you go back to like 2015, I was a bit of an arrogant douche. Those videos are painful for me to listen to. And I might be arrogant now, but it's in a way of like, holy smokes, I've done so much work. I've worked so... Okay, so when QE, which is Greg, came over and hung out, my neighbor mentioned to him a couple times, my neighbor goes, he never leaves the house, man. Like, he never leaves. He never leaves. He should leave the house. Because, yeah, dude, all I've been doing is working and staring at this crap. So I appreciated the little break. So now I can stare at this stuff again. So hugs to you, and y'all have been super duper fantastic and awesome. Please know that you guys are great, and I appreciate all your help, all your support. And you guys have frustrated a lot of powerful people because they were sure they could knock me out. It didn't happen though. I'm telling you, being good luck, crisis bonding. Yeah, be sure you bond with good people. There is one thing that is frustrating is I'm honest to a fault, and finding people who are honest to a fault is tough to do these days. And a lot of people lie to themselves, which is understandable. That's fine. But you guys are one. I'm just so glad to be in this room. I'm like hugging all you people. You guys are great. And there's so much going on. And it's like when I turn on, I don't know, literally the internet is designed just to like make people miserable, it seems. Was I being gang stalked? Hey, Raymond. I mean, I don't even know what you would call what I've been going through. Because when I did have a car and I did go out to bars and go hang out and stuff, someone would always come find me. Always. And then they would talk to me about all this shit. And so a lot of those interactions were wonderful. I'm definitely like digitally being gang stalked. But at one point, I honestly don't necessarily know that it's like, they're like, oh, we're getting rid of you. I think it's more of like we're stealing from you. Although they do want to get rid of me. We all rule. We are all kings and queens. All right, but I don't know, but that's the whole thing about the book of Revelation. Read me the one about the church of Thyatira, where it says that God will give the power to one man to dash all the nations and bring them together. Now, there are a bunch of references in Revelation where it talks about we're going to get 1,000 years of peace, that good times are going to come back again. And for the life of me, like 90% of Christians never are like, you know what, Jesus Christ is coming, or faithful and true coming back, and we're going to get 1,000 years of peace. They're like, the whole world's going to end. It's like, no, dude, we're going to have peace before the bad shit. And so, prepare for peace, people. Hello, Dagger Spells. Hello, Colleen. Hello, Kutanai. How do you pronounce that? Kutanai and Gwen. Hello, Sophia. Hey, Groot's after Groot. I'm being gang stalked all the time, cat. Well, I mean, they're putting people under a bunch of shit. Quit drinking, gain compassion. Okay, dude, so the year's halfway over. I've drank maybe 5 times. So that is once a month. Once a month, I as a man have had beers. So you tell me, like, I don't know, that's what I don't, you know, people, that's another thing that I think is hilarious. It's like, guys, people who always give orders to other people. You didn't do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this. No, dude, like, I want to see my queen now. I do too. I fooled around and fell. Well, congratulations, Mike Taylor. That will always boost your mood. Falling in love will help you. Fighting the good fight. But man, we got, like, I can't stress it enough. We got the corporations are making major moves, man. Daggers, you're all cute. Every single one of you. But it's, I don't know. It's all boogeyman to me. And when you're like, it's like when you're selling the bad guys. It's like these are like, I don't know. It's like bad guy cheerleading, and you don't even know it. Like it's gonna get better. Like good guys and good ladies are gonna resurface. Cause shit's, I mean, the thing is falling apart pretty bad. Common icing cupcake, baby. I love you guys. I miss y'all. Well, congratulations, Maxine. We all deserve love. And hey, Noodles, you are super duper awesome. X-Men forever. Blockchain verified personal avatar. And so what? QE, which is quantum entanglement, which is what I'm calling Greg. Well, we talked about, he wanted to talk about quantum entanglement, but what he really knew was blockchain and crypto really well. And so he was explaining to me how blockchain will help video. Because, with the deepfake stuff, and They can go in, they can change your video, they can put in audio they want, they can do whatever they want, and you don't know. And so I would definitely like to decentralize Google. You know, like, I don't know, Google is like worse than the mafia ever was. Shit, I shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna lose my channel now. But I'm just like, yeah, dude, like, I think Google, like, you don't have to believe me, but people have been grifting from tons of people's super chats. People have been stealing your views and your advertising money and giving to themselves and their friends. They've been doing that for a long time, and Google and PayPal have been complacent. Do you remember when my mic is messed up? That's fine. I'll get off in a bit. But I'm saying, they're getting caught. The secret is out now. I mean, they were running $1,000 from my PayPal that I couldn't even touch. But, you know, what is it? All right, so the gang is upset again. Like I said, they're jealous. And that is good news. Okay, we gotta go because dicks are all upset again. Yo, man, how's that? Okay, I love you guys. You're the best. Talk to y'all soon. This is microphone problem solved. God bless everyone.